All right, let's look here at 7, 8, and 9. So Sarah is investing $10,000. But instead of investing in but instead chooses to invest in a passively managed index fund that is linked to the S&P 500 with an expense ratio of 0.2. So this one is kind of building off of the same in question number 6. So if you know 6, you should be able to do 7. It's just going to be kind of a little bit different as far as the expenses. So if she has $10,000, okay, and she earns 7% return, so quickly when we calculate that, we can take the 10,000 and we just multiply it by her return of 0.07. When we're doing decimals of a percent, remember we got to slide it 2 to the left. So on that investment, okay, of $10,000, right there we go. On that $10,000 investment, we multiplied by 0.07 or 7%. She got a $700 return. So now her portfolio, which was $10,000, is worth $10,700. Well, she has to pay expenses on that because that's just how it works. The brokerage pays you, requires you to pay a management fee, but when you are doing passive, you have a much smaller rate of return here. So in this case, it's 0.2%. So what we do, okay, is take this, our percent, and we multiply it by 0.002 because we just took 0.2 and moved that decimal 2 spots to the left. So now we're multiplying by a percent, and we do it by her whole portfolio. So this is going to tell us what we have to pay for expense fees. So we take 10,700 times 0.002, and that's our expense fee. It's going to be $21.40 is what we paid for management fees that year. Let me make sure I got that right. 10,700 times 0.002. There we go. So how much did she make a year with her investment? Well, she made $700. Question 2, how much does she pay in her fees for passively managed? $21.40. So now, at the end of the year, what's the total value after fees? So we got to take what she made, right? 10,700, and we have to subtract the fees that she paid. So minus 21.40, and then that will be your answer to number 3 there. On this one, you are looking at just a rate of return that both Harley and Sarah had to pay. So both of them earned a 7% return. Okay, so you got a 7% return, but they have to pay their management fees. Now, Sarah had to pay 0.2. So you just take 7 and you minus 0.2. Okay, what's that going to give you? So her return is going to be 6.8%. And Harley also earns 7%, but she's paying an active manager, so she's got to pay a little bit more. And I think from the problem it was 1.3%. So then you got to subtract that, okay? And that's going to be your effective rate there. For this one, okay, we're kind of combining some of these skills here. So what is the difference in fees these two investors will pay? So we're going to assume Sarah and Harley continue to invest in the same funds over the course of their working careers. Each decide to contribute $300 a month for the next 30 years. So we started with $10,000, and we're going to put $300 a month for the next 30 years. Harley continues with the active fund with a 1.3% expenses, while Sarah goes passive route and only pays 0.2. So then we're going to use the compound interest calculator that's attached to find out what's going to be the result here. So if I click on that, it takes me to this compound interest calculator. So what is the difference in fees these two investors will pay? So if we look at, I think we start with 10,000 and we're going 30 years and we're going monthly contributions $300 and we're earning 7%. And now here's where we put in our fees. Management cost was for Harley 1.3, and then you can just come down here and see here. So her fund after 30 years would be worth $324,000, but the effective fees, or the loss of money that her paying those fees over those years, would be $102,007. Well, that's a little bit different. So if we write down, so it's $102,007 for Harley. Now, what is Sarah going to pay? We change this from 1.3 to 0.2. Now you see kind of the difference here, where Sarah paying 0.2 is only going to pay $17,000 over 30 years. So that's a pretty sizable difference, and you can see the difference reflected in their portfolio balance at the end of 30 years. So how much will fees impact the value of their portfolio at the end of 30 years? You can go back and kind of compare those two numbers. And then what does this tell you about the importance of paying attention to your fees? All right, hope that helps.